They still work the same way they did during King David's reign. Liars, buyers, sellers, backstabbers, and manipulators. They all the same. Lauryn Hill had it right. Backstabbers do this. Caesar and Brutus and Jesus and Judas. Jesus and Judas are different than Caesar and Brutus because Jesus is way different animal than Caesar ever thought about being. The way I cut down Marcus Aurelius to size because he goes into forces his laws and his beliefs on other people on the other lands, and Jesus and Solomon and David and the rest of us and Moses have people come, will you be our leader? That's what the people tried to say. You're going to have to come and take over here. These leaders are horrible. Your Moses was beautiful. And Joshua, we see, is the same. So yeah, Joshua felt like he was a failure. He wasn't. Moses felt like he was a failure. He wasn't. It was the people that failed them and failed real faith. I mean, he goes, go to the mountain and come back with something to help us, Moses. He comes back with the Ten Commandments. They build a golden cow to attract the cows and want to go back to Egypt to continue being raped and take the Sabbath away. They're stupid. Well, at least we got fed there. It's harder out here. Yeah, it's going to be harder before it gets easier. You're free. Yeah, you got to build your houses. You got to establish your flocks. You got to find ways to survive. I told you to go up in there. It's better land. No, there's 12-foot tall guys that will kill us all. No, man, we've got a shitload of people here, and they're going to coexist with us. One, we've got some badasses here. There's me, there's Josh, there's Aaron, we're not going to go down without a good fight, and they ain't going to want to fight us. There's a whole fucking lot of us, and they don't have they're just shepherds and stuff like that. They're scared too. We're not here to scare them, intimidate them. We're here to be their brethren because we're all related. No, Moses, you're crazy. It doesn't work like that. Yeah, it does. Why? Look at how many there is of us. You'd be scared too. That's why they're putting on the thing. Those aren't really they put something out to scare you guys. We saw 12-foot tall people. Yeah, you did, but you got so scared you didn't even go. That's not really 12. Moses is a liar. He just wants to get us all killed. He's always doing that. He's a big hothead that just runs off at the mouth and goes right into it. Yeah, and you sat there and what happened? I stare down Joshua and goes with my dad and my uncle and sits there and fights back the Egyptian army so most of you guys don't get murdered. And you treat him like shit because he's part Kenyan and Ethiopian who are part of the ruling family of Egypt in lineage. So he's darker than you and he's different than you, so he's an asshole. He risked his life to save you and you treat him like shit. Same with Aaron. You guys are fucking assholes because they're different and they're more Egyptian than you. They're bigger assholes because they have family and friends that are helping them and helping you escape on your exodus because he's trying to come and exterminate you because he doesn't want to look bad historically. And you guys are fucking dicks. I stand him down in the middle of the Red Sea and say, come on, bitch, and willing to take every arrow in Egypt as if I never happened to get him out of there. And I couldn't. He couldn't. He wanted to. Pharaoh's lying that Moses' uncle was murdered, and my son understands. And his father was. It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered. It would have broke down the entire power structure of Egypt, and there would have been civil war. And the way his dad and his uncle were, they would have had to fight and hold on to a bloody, revolted, if they would have made it through it all. And all the lives that would have been cost in the power struggle afterwards, it wouldn't have been worth it to either one of those men. They loved Egypt and they loved God's people more than they loved power and trying to ascend to it and have positions of power. They did things because they served God's people. They were God's servants. And that's how special they are. And they weren't being manipulated because they had young Moses there to help guide them. He's a special guide and a teacher. Wow, that's special. But even his own father sometimes is lost without him. That's why sometimes he makes a better son than a father to David, Solomon, because he's a guiding light for him. That's why it's better when he comes as his father. That's why there's that golden spirit. He wanted to die to save his father and his uncle. Ramses didn't do it, and he blamed himself the rest of his life for his father and his uncle's death. But when he sits down and explains it, and Miriam explained it to him, and Joshua and him analyzed it, and Josh was like, no, man, they would have gone back there, and they would have had hell in Egypt and stuff like that. You averted it. Ramses is still in charge, and he did kill your uncle and your dad, but he had them assassinated. But so many people haven't. Civil war is horrible, and that's what you were sent here to avert with civil war and mass executions of the people again and stuff like that. You did your job, they did their job. Now get over it. Joshua, do you know how much I love my uncle and my father? Now is a different time, Josh. Judas, Peter, Paul, Simon, Solomon, Haley, Nesta. It's a different time now. Now we have this available. We can use the truth as a sword like never before. With the shield of faith and the true faithful people and the true fellowship, we can lead an exodus like never before. We can change the world in a day, in weeks, in months, where before we didn't have this availability. It's in there in the things that Tim Rice saw about Jesus Christ Superstar. Why didn't you do it today? Why didn't you lead your revolution today? Why did you come today? Because we can't stop coming. You have to come and serve the people to the best of your ability. It's a maternal line, relative and group and collective molecular transfiguratory state. I come to teach you. I come to teach you. I come to teach you. They're going to murder you again. Yes. They're going to pray for Buddy Holly to die. They're going to murder Herschman Snyder and kill Jews by the millions. They're going to do all these horrible things. It's discussed in the book of Daniel, the book of Amos, and the book of Revelation over and over again until the day he comes from the line of King David, and the line of King David is restored, and the other lines come in and join, I guess, for lack of a better word, join forces again to help establish true faith and true peace among men and women and help avert greater disasters, because most of those horrible disasters in the book of Revelation, the book of Amos, and the book of Daniel have already come to pass. We are in the latter days, but the latter days to God are like Bishop Manwar and me discussed it. So it's like a minute. So we do have the 1,000 years. I'm pretty sure, aren't you guys? You know, given the movement and the time travel stuff that you guys do and everything, that we have 1,000 years to clean up this mess if we do it correctly. Yeah. You guys have chipped yourself. I didn't want that option and I didn't want that alternative, but you guys did. So please understand this. Save yourself. Save your planet. How you get the most beautiful and loving transition in the history of the world. Make it a good movement and everything like that. My personal life is my personal life. Stay the hell out of it. I don't really want anything manipulated. I don't want to put on a fucking show for people. And I don't want to sell gossip rag magazines or have it be reality fucking TV anymore. I just want to be myself. I want to see my kids again. The people that I've met in your show, I would love to meet you. I don't know what kinds of friends will be. I don't know how that will work. You know, trust, honor, and character are earned. And money's a hoe. So, you know, as much as you guys, I ain't laying with that bitch. I can't stand her. Okay? She's led my planet to the brink of destruction. And your guys' addiction to fame, money, and celebrity and stuff like that has almost killed yourself and killed us all. So I'm not real happy with you. But you did, some of you stepped forward and were very brave. Will Smith, I really do want to meet you. Okay? And there's a couple of others that have really kind of stepped up forward a little bit. And obviously I want to meet the Marleys. And yeah, so, but some of the rest of you, man, I'm just like kind of pissed, you know, that you buy into the bullshit of these, lack of a better word, morons, complete fucking idiots that are still perpetuating this bullshit to hang on to their bullshit for a little bit longer and save themselves embarrassment from the inevitable. It's totally irrational. They've become cancer cells. I've been told this. How do I get them out of it? How do I stop the panic? How do I stop the fear? How do I stop the irrationality? How do I stop their self-worship, their celebrity worship, their idol worship, their this bullshit? It's going to be hard, but I'm going to have to do it. I know. It's going to be painful, but you have to do it. I know. Can't they just come forward? No. You're just going to have to probably beat the hell out of them first before they finally give up and submit. Like kids that are just stubborn and bad and won't stop and always know better than you, but then when you look at the paperwork and you look at the stories and you look at the analysis and you look at the results, hey, probably should have listened to Moses. It's a good idea. Probably should have listened to David and Jesus. Jesus was one that was definitely worth listening to. They weren't going to. It's not that. It's the book. Well, it wasn't. We had to fulfill the book. You were writing the book all along. It's a group collective connective. It's when the people are ready. That's why 96 to, 99. I'm like, why didn't you? No, they were manipulating. They were killing your mom off. They were making sure that you and Guru didn't get hooked up, that you didn't have the urge to go there, that you resisted urges to try to move to different, to cut down your confidence, to resist you from becoming an actor, a basketball player, or this or that or that. They worked on you the hardest because you were the biggest component to break down all this thing and cause their cosmic destruction. No, they were the leading to cosmic destruction. I was the one just saving them from it. It's in the book. They think it's an irrational bunch of crazy-ass bullshit. No, they're the fulfillers of it. You can see it now in mathematical perfection, what's going on. And then when you just sit there and discuss your Constitution, Declaration of Independence, and Bill of Rights, and compare them to the Ten Commandments and the Lord's Prayer, they're nothing alike. Forgive debt, don't hold people into debt, and forgive trespass, and know that we're all human and that we'll do better if we keep trying to forgive debt, don't extort each other, and live in a more communal type way. A more communal type way, a more social setting. It's discussed all through the Gospels. Call everybody in, share, and all these people claim to be Christians, and they're nothing like it. And they have that, we the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice and ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our prosperity. We're going to kill more of these Indians, disrespect their land recognition and traditions. We're going to dishonor their religion to make slaves of the black people too, and build up on that, and then we'll make it illegal when we get too scared that they'll become too many and take us over, because they did in Jamaica and Haiti. This is our history, is true. Don't lie to me, I know it better than you, because I'm honest and I love my country. Even if she's a whore, I'll wash her up and I'll bring her to my breast, you see. I never turn anybody away. I love them more and more each day, especially when they grow in true faith in ways that make me smile real big on my face every day. Do you understand me? I'm the kind of guy you want to hang out with. I'm not bought and sold, and I'm not a pussy, and I'm not a pervert. You are watching and not doing shit about it. That's more perverse than the guy stuck in the fucking rat trap and then being analyzed. He seems to be agitated. Why? Because I'm being watched by a bunch of mindless little rats that take away my rats. My right to life, my right to be human, my right to have any kind of free will, because you're trying to manipulate everything into your will because you know better than I do, and it's obvious you don't, and then you're too embarrassed to admit it. It's as simple as you guys think. You're forgetting I'm probably most likely, from the analysis and the deeds and the actions, more intelligent than most of you. And most of you guys are being influenced by a bunch of people that are manipulating you. Go, it's secretly, he doesn't get it. Okay. Yeah, Moses doesn't get it. What Moses doesn't get is, what Jesus doesn't get is this is what's going on, and Jesus can't do anything about it. Well, if he's put in a public figure position that people follow him and they love him and he speaks the truth better and he analyzes it better, he'll be able to save you. He'll just say that. No, you can't do that. Why? Well, look at how he talked to the guy that Peter cut his ear off into not killing him. I mean, he should have killed him by all rights. Peter should have died. That's cutting the ear off of Caesar. That's death right there. Yeah. And then the guy that Moses allegedly murdered, I mean, Moses is a person from the royal family in Egypt, the alleged son or nephew or whatever, it doesn't matter. He's related to a god, a living God. He tells him, commands him to stop beating the slave. The guy ignores him. He killed himself. Yeah. When Moses comes over and stops him and has to get physically violent with him because the man, Moses is lost. He's young. He's checked out. You son of a bitch. Stop beating that slave. I don't have to listen to you. You're one of them. Oh, really? He checks out. He loses it. He feels bad, but that other guy should feel bad, right? It's Pharaoh. It's Pharaoh's family. That's like Pharaoh telling you, stop that. I am the son of God and can have you killed. The guy, well, yeah, whatever. That's what it's all about. That's why when that guy, Moses was a murderer. No, he wasn't. That guy killed himself. You don't analyze real well, do you? Don't sell books in my family's name. You understand who you are now? Do you understand who I am now? Do you understand who he had that conversation with at Fry's Food and Drug in Sierra Vista, Arizona? And you sit there and snickered and thought you figured out Jesus and Moses? Do you understand who I am now? All you guys do that. Snicker, snicker, doodle, 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 doodle. I outfigured you. I know better than Jesus and Moses. Snicker, snicker. And then every time you leave going, fuck, he's right. Yeah, go figure. Best was my favorite because Best, we had those long conversations about Uriah and David. And I didn't want to talk about it. And he kept going, well, Uriah was a better man than him because he did that. And I'm like, so he wanted to go back and die with his men and die like a real man, but he slept on David's doorstep all night. Why didn't he just he disobeyed David? He didn't go sleep with his wife. So why didn't he just go back and die with his men? Wouldn't that have been a bigger show? No, he wanted to make David feel bad because he's not doing this. He's trying to put on a show. Yeah, like he is a better man than David, and he's not, because a better man than David just would have said, no, I'm going to go die with my men. I'll see you. I'm taking over the kingdom. Why? Because the men will surely follow me. He was putting on a show. He was up to something. He was manipulating something. He's not a better man than David is. David's a better man than him. That's why David knew. You're gonna go stay here and kill your wife and that unborn child and kill that child for mine and Bathsheba's sin. Yep. You'll kill an unborn child for your honor. You're not my son. Take this out there. Put him in the front lines to where he'll just be dead because this is what he wants to do to that little baby. Put him in a situation where he can't defend himself and protect himself, and it wasn't his fault. Let's see if God can save him from himself. He's not my son. That woman has turned him against me. I'm going to cry, and it hurts, but he's become someone not like me. He tried to supplant his own father and murder an unborn innocent child in order to take the throne of King of Israel. He's not a man anymore. Bye. That's cold. That's as cold as Uriah was about that unborn baby. And that's just cruel. We don't believe in abortion. No, I don't. I don't believe in abortion, but I can't do anything about it because you guys have set up the conditions for it to be such a modus operandi in our society, because you charge extortion to live and you irrationally manage your flock because you have everybody fearful because they have to charge extortion to live, and they panic through their whole lives on how to live here because you're extorting them. Abortion will no longer be a problem after you start stopping the extortion. It won't even be an issue. You'll have less rape. You'll have less love children. You'll have better morals and values the moment you stop extorting to live on planet Earth. So it will become moot. As it is right now, you cannot legislate morality. Okay, if a young girl is raped and you want to force her to have that child, you're perpetuating that rape. That's between her and God. And I will not make that decision, and I will not force it upon her because I am not an evil rapist like you. Do you understand? You claim to support the sanctity of life, and we're saving all these unborn children, but all those little fucking kids in Mexico can go all die because they shouldn't be trying to come here illegally. Illegally. Okay, so you had a legal document that said it was okay to hop in a boat, cross the sea, and aggressively take it over from people that already lived here, put smallpox in their blankets, not honor treaties, and go on mass genocidal extortion campaigns in order to forcibly remove their land from them and put yourself on that land? That's illegal migration. You got weird ideas of what legal migration is. I think you're pretty sick and twisted. I think you need my help. I think you need a Savior. I think the world needs Jesus or somebody thereof or just like him. All right? Someone who can explain the Gospels, explain the Word, explain your history to you, and help you stop repeating the same mistakes you keep making in your history, because your history is very ugly. All right? Stop extorting people to live on planet Earth. Stop being, basically, for lack of a better word, but that's what they keep telling me, and I get it through the computer and everybody else back, forward, and front. They're assholes, Ralph. They're stinky, crusty assholes who think their ass doesn't stink. And then you've cleaned your ass, and they keep telling you, your ass stinks like the rest of ours. No, it doesn't. I'm clean. My asshole stinks when I take a shit, but I wipe real well, and I wash real well. And yours does too. Now wipe real well and wash real well. You take a shit just like the rest of us. You urinate just like the rest of us, and you fall just like the rest of us. You have feet of clay and feet of sand just like the rest of us. And I won't tell you lies, and I won't wash away the truth of whatever you're saying. That's the world I used to know. I'm truthful, and I'd rather live without you than have you make me into an idol-worshiping, lying little sack of shit that will buy and sell out my world and my race and my faith for a place in the sun in the Bahamas or Belize and lay down with a beautiful woman who doesn't really want to change anything because she's too addicted to her celebrity and fame. That's what I would say. And then any woman with any kind of moxie, any kind of intelligence, and any kind of courage would grab me in her arms and never let me go and tell her I'm the most beautiful man she's ever had the privilege to hold in her arms. But that kind of shit doesn't happen. Those kind of fairy tales don't come true. Nah, I have to do it all your way. Well, if you want it your way, go to Burger King. I ain't the Burger King. I'm the King of Kings. I'm the King of Israel. Israel. And I rule in peace. And I am real. And I look to take my friends and make them part of the family because we're all related. I've had enough. You will do whatever you do. But I prefer you treat me like a king, like I want to treat you like a queen, and treat you all like royalty. I try to help you see it, and you put me down. Because I speak for the poor and ask for mercy, and you work with the rich and answer with insults. And I'm tired of it. Blessings and peace.